Good evening, YouTube. This is JS Myrie 7 Jared on the DFS Quarry channel, and we're going to look at the main slate breakdown for tomorrow, November 16th, Friday. And it looks like we have a 6-game slate on schedule, action-packed. My brother Joe Myrie 3131 on Twitter, he is out venturing the first snowfall of the winter in measurable fashion, that is. He's out Central PA there, and yeah, there has been a little quick snowfall, and due to kind of like a warmth and a little bit of the rain earlier today, it kind of gets real slicky, like we call it snotty snow. That is real slick. They're probably a Pennsylvania, probably a Pennsylvania mountain-like term, but hey, we'll go with it. Well, it works, huh? So I told him since last night he got to insult me numerous times on yesterday's video that I will man the fort and take over today's. Overall, my lineups here, I got one lineup looking real good, two that are like mid-range, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to place in those. But hey, that's why we play the game, right? I'll take 1 out of 3 any day. I like it. I'm going to hopefully go to the screen share, and hopefully my computer works pretty well here, and we'll get a little bit of stats and hopefully some good plays for you. Let me turn on screen share and share screen. All right, where are we at here? All right, looks like screen share is viewing now, so that's great. First game up on our slate, we have the Boston Bruins traveling down to the Dallas Stars. Dallas is a 108 Vegas favorite with a 5.5 over/under. Let's take a quick look here at away stats here. Boston-wise, you see they're 19th on the road, 3-4-2 record, 2.1 goals for, 3 goals against. They are 6th on the power play, and they are 30th in the league here on the penalty kill, taking 3.56 penalties a game. Going to home side, and we all know, if you keep up with our videos, Dallas is a better home team. They are 6-3-1 with 3.6 goals for, 2.8 against. They are 6th in power play, although they do not take draw a lot of penalties. They only draw on 2.8. Looks like they are 14th on penalty kill. Now, let's go to I know Joe last night was at least telling you a little bit about left wing lock here, so I don't need left wing lock and daily face off. So like he said, we try to get all of our stats, different variety of options here. Let me open all these tabs up. Hopefully hopefully it's not too slow for you guys and you can get a good look of what I'm doing here. So let's see here. Okay, next day, open up. We're going to open up the Boston Bruins latest stats, and we're going to get the Dallas Stars latest 5-game stats here. While that's all loading up here, we got 3-2 in the past 5 for Boston. And looks like 1-4 for Dallas. Let's see if we can get some. All right, so we got Tuukka Rask projected, like you said, and this is what Joe was talking about yesterday here. You see this updated 4 months ago. That's kind of unfortunate they can't give us that a little bit quicker update. I'll just go down all these, that way we can kind of get an idea, and I won't have to keep switching back and forth. Another game, Buffalo Sabres, which we'll get into later. You see this one's updated 7 hours ago. Laurent Brossoit is confirmed for the Winnipeg Jets goalie. You see this record, 3.00, 1.67, 0.957. He's been pretty hot, especially for a second backup goalie here. 1 day ago, Peter Budaj is definitely going to be your starter here, 0-1, 5.5. This here is a little misleading because he did, I think, go against the Toronto Maple Leafs, so you don't want to hammer him too bad. Projected Corey Crawford, 4-6. Crawford coming off a good game the other night. A real good game. The shutout, right? I think it was 1-0 against St. Louis. So is that the spark? Excuse me. If that's the spark they need, well, you hope. 1 hour ago, Washington Capitals are traveling to Colorado. Philip Grubauer is going to start for Colorado. And Phoenix Copley here for Washington. As you know, Washington, Hopi, late scratch yesterday. They had to call in an emergency goalie. So keep an eye out on him, see if he's going to be out long term. Next game here we're going to have, and we're going to discuss Jake Allen projected for the St. Louis Blues traveling to the Vegas Golden Knights, where it's supposed to be Marc-Andre Fleury. Once again, here's another one updated 4 months ago, so keep checking back in with that. Projected Garrett Sparks going up against John Gibson projected. I'm surprised they're going to play Gibson again, but we'll discuss that. Let's go into the game here, shall we? Or the breakdown, I should say. This here one, I am going to have to say, for me, I like the Dallas Stars here to beat the Boston Bruins here. You know, it's going to be, like I said, I'll just scroll right down to it because I'm not going to play lines per se. It's this power play. Definitely get a pair. Depending with the way we look at the later games in the slate and see if you have any better options, you should at least be able to get a pairing from, you know, whether this second power play unit is where you want or this first power play. Looking at this, they have no power play points in the 5 games here. It's been here with limited options, limited production here. I like this Miro Heiskanen. I think he had an assist the other night here at a 4,700 price tag. Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin and Alexander Radulov. Radulov just got back. Mitch was great. And, you know, Mitch is a nice viewer who's a regular watcher. He said Radulov is coming back, and he came back with a vengeance here. 1 goal right off the bat. So bring him back in. And look at that. DraftKings knows it's no fluke with this guy. Right away putting him at that 6,900 price tag on DraftKings. 6,000 price tag on FanDuel. That's really attractive here, especially with the I think it's the power play bonus you get from FanDuel. So look for that. You know, in a 6-game slate, I wouldn't have a problem actually stacking 3 guys here in this matchup. I wouldn't have an issue with it. We go up here. Like I said, Heiskanen on defense here. 4 assists, 9 shots, 6 blocks in the past 5 games at 4,700. That's great production here. Lindell's kind of cooled off. And, yeah, that's really it for the defensive side is Heiskanen. You go up here as a line combat. This is why I like it. Most of their line production is this first line. A little bit with Spezza on the second line. Third line, Faxka and Pitlick occasionally. And, you know, when we break down the slate, and I was looking at it at a high level, because like you said, you know, we always advertise this as a first look. So, you know, we're not going to do every bit of analysis. We're giving you a real good depth to help you get started. I don't think you're going to need to go this third and fourth line here. Another thing that and I'll tell you, I brought it up over here for defensive pairings. Chara just went down with an injury. I think it is going to be a little bit longer term. You see here, Chara with Grzelcyk 3 goals for on 5-on-5 action. Chara here with more, 3 goals for and no goals against on 5-on-5 action. So he's big for their offense, and I think you take him away. Is Torrey Krug enough to help them? You know, I guess we're going to find out tomorrow, but another reason I like Dallas in this. Here, let's look here. This price tag here is insane. $8,000 for Pasternak. But look at their power play. It's been clicking as of late. It's really been these 2 guys here. Last night, or 2 nights ago, it was the last. No, 2 nights ago they played, and I called the second line of Boston for the diamond stack, and these 3 guys here totaled 12 points exact. Jake DeBrusk with a 2-goal night. Krejci, I think, had 1 assist, and Nordstrom, I think, had a half point or 1 point or something. But, hey, it's nice to know, you know, you look it up, you hit that diamond stack at a 12-point even. I'll take it. I'll take the win there. You better believe Joe Miner 3131 got some messages about that. Diamond stack! Hey, Mitch, welcome aboard, buddy. You must have heard Dallas's name being mentioned, and you knew to get right on. But yeah, at 5,900, Brad Marchand might be a nice option as a one-off here. And even DeBrusk, maybe play that hot streak, could be. I'm not going to play him, but, you know, you can kind of see on your own, you know, those are your options if I were to play him. It's a lot of cost here for what, you know, what the stats show, at least from a on-the-road team. You know, they don't have Chara listed in the injury column here, but I did read something. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I know I mentioned, like, seeing it, but like I said, I don't know if it was long-term or not. Let's go to the next game, though, shall we? I look for Dallas, though, more in a, like, 4-2, 3-2 type game here. And I think it's going to come special teams for Dallas or that first line. Potentially Spezza, too. Next game is Buffalo Sabres traveling to Winnipeg to take on the red-hot Winnipeg Jets. Jets are a 215 home favorite with an over-under of 6. Like we said, it looks like we're expecting Rassoit for Winnipeg's confirmed, and I think it was Carter Hutton for Buffalo. Let's load up, shall we, on what do we know here. And while that loads up, let's go here, look at the stats. Away stats, Buffalo is a 4-4-1, averaging 3 goals, giving up 3.2. 23rd in the league in power play on the road and 19th in penalty kill here. And then you look at this Winnipeg team on home, best team in the league on home ice, 8-2-1, scoring 3.6 goals, giving up 2.5. Number 1 power play team in the league, 12th penalty kill. That means for me, Winnipeg is in play, especially knowing that if I had to look for at least the current month stats here, Winnipeg has the best power play. All right, I think we're loaded up here. One thing is Brosite. I think he is in play. Let me look at this. This here's a few days old, but for the sake of it, yeah, 33 shots per game taken for Buffalo. So I think Brosite's in play for the Winnipeg Jets on home ice. When I look at the prior game, I wouldn't have a problem looking at Ben Bishop here. Winnipeg 4-1 in their last 5. The most they've given up is 4 goals, which was 4 games ago against Florida over there in Finland. So their defense has been playing spectacular. Let's see, 2 goals. Let's see, last game was 1 goal against Washington. The game before that, only giving up 2 goals. The Devils, 2 goals. The Colorado. They're playing well. So that's why I'm kind of gonna leave the interest off on Buffalo. But that top line, I think, is going to come at a cost. We're going to look at them here in a second. But I think it's going to be a high price here. For Winnipeg here, like I said, we're special teams here, best power play team in the league. You know, it's that Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele combo. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing Line and Connor. Those are the pairings I stick to. I kind of just do – for me, when I play Winnipeg, I only play a pair. Tomorrow might be the day where I do the 3-pack combo here and just say what third line has a potential for at least shots on goal. And that's where I might look, because it's hard not to get involved thinking that Patrick Line, who's gotten 5 goals and 23 shots in 5 games, that's great production. Same here, 8 points, 13 shots, 4 blocks, 7,100, great production. I'll take that. And then you go Blake Wheeler, 1 goal, 12 assists, 7 shots, 8 blocks in 5 games, guys. These are massive numbers, and it's hard to ignore them. Pencil it in. You can create a lineup tonight and throw those 3, and you'll be off to the races in a good way. For defensively here, when I look at this, Morrissey now, Bufflin at 6,100. I'd rather do those 3 forwards and pay down for defense tomorrow. And maybe it's Tyler Myers. 11 shots, 11 blocks. That's what is that? That's an average of around 2 shots, 2 blocks a game. That's 2 points at 30, 2-point floor at 3,100. And he's getting around 19 minutes ice time. I mean, he's not going to break your, crew crazy. But in a cash game, that's a great viable option. Like I said, no interest in Morrow. And let's go over this Buffalo line. Sherry on the second line has been a great play. He's starting to mesh well. You remember at the beginning of the year, he was playing well up here with Eichel, and I think it was Pominville at the time. And that line was going crazy. And then they finally bumped up Skinner, who they acquired in the offseason. And Skinner, Eichel, and Reinhardt are still going crazy, at least in 5-on-5 gameplay. Maybe if you did think, if you're game scripting this in your head and you're saying, Buffalo on their 3-game win streak, which they currently have, I think they're hot. They've, just knocked off Tampa Bay the other night. They're going to keep going. Give me Skinner, give me Eichel here. I'm not thinking that way, personally, guys. If I'm going anywhere, I might say I'm going to pay down on this. That's going to be a close game script. I'm going to go this third line here that's been, pretty productive. Maybe not so much Berglund. That time on ice kind of scares me, unless this number here is frustrating, because if they're injured, it kind of throws the scale completely off. These 2 numbers here, 15 minutes a game, those are pretty accurate numbers for a third line here. Pominville, we know what he can do. He's had a great year. Sabatka, he's got great experience at 2,600, 3,900. You're getting a great price, guys. This fourth line's non-existent. Don't even worry about playing those. I think Ristolainen had the goal the other night, 5,100. These are great numbers here. He's back in play at a 5,100. 1 goal, 3 assists, 16 shots, 8 blocks. Great production here. Darwin's starting to come aboard here at 3,400. 3 assists, 8 shots, 5 blocks in the past 5. I'm okay to pay 3,400. Should you think of that as an option? I think he'll even have low ownership, if that matters for a third-line defenseman. Probably doesn't. And like I said, when I look at this, let's check real quick here. Like I said, Winnipeg's penalty kill was pretty good, but let's get a look here at Buffalo's. I think they were middle of the league here on yeah, they're 10th in power play, drawing 3 penalties a game. I'm going to stick with line combinations here. I don't think they're going to get past much here. And you go down to the goalies here. Carter Hutton, he's playing better, but is he going to be able to stop this red hot Winnipeg Jets? And I don't believe so. And this is why, if I do, I'm going Hellebuck here at 8,300, or the Laurent Brossoit is who's confirmed. So it is going to be Laurent Brossoit. He hasn't seen a good, obviously you see this. He hasn't even played in the last 5 games. So maybe that will impact him, and that'll tell you, jump aboard the Buffalo train. I don't think he's going to come in cold. He's already shown that he's productive as a backup. Let's move on here, though. In that game, it's too close for me to call, even though that 215. I think it's going to be more of a 4-3 game. Just the Sabres I don't know where their goals are going to come from. Next game up, the bottom of the barrel of the league here, guys. The Los Angeles Kings on the road going into Chicago to take on the Chicago Blackhawks, who are coming off a win, guys. We have not been able to say that in 8 games. Their first win, 1-0 shutout against St. Louis the other night. They're a 150 home favorite with a 5.5 over/under. Kings are going to have a little different look, as Joe said, they did acquire the Carl Hagelin from the Penguins. Is that what they needed? Probably not, guys. While I get going on this. Yeah, Mitch, I agree with you. These are the kind of ones where you kind of want to ignore them. There's no real standout huge scorers. But this is the type where the veterans come to life and get a 3-point night, and you end up, not missing the boat. I can tell you right now, I'm going to probably take a risk and game stack this on either side, even if it's a pairing from each, a pairing from Chicago, a pairing from LA. I'm going to do that. Oh man, Joe called it last night with Minnesota. Minnesota just took a 6-1 lead according to the update I just got. Goal by Jason Zucker. They are they're a streaky team. When they do win, it's win in big fashion. When they lose, it's 4-0. But let's go and look at these stats for what they're worth. Scroll down the bottom. That's where these guys are going to be home. Chicago is 4-3-2. They're above 500 on the home ice here. They take the least amount of penalties at 2.22 penalties a game. So nothing really alarms me there. That's kind of does this 2.2, does it look like you're gonna fade the power play of LA? That's what you question when you see that stat. You go to the Kings, here they are dead last. They're 1-5 on the road at a mere 1.5 goals a game. And look at this. Look at this, guys. No power play goals scored by the Kings on the road yet this year. So easy enough, guys. Easy enough research. How you get excited and you're going down this power play because that's where you're going to hit points at in your daily faceoff link. Not the case here. You're staying away from that. Because you play the stats. Do you want to be that brave one and say, well, tomorrow's the day. I got an inkling. Sure, you could say that. But is it a wise play? When you're playing low risk games, you're throwing in $1 on the dollar double ups, the dollar quintuple ups, triple ups, what have you, or you're playing the quarter of GPPs or something. Sure, why not, right? You take a chance. But if you're running the big mega dollar ones, those are the kinds of ones where you say, I'm not going to risk that. You look at this here. These price tags, Dustin Brown, we know what he can do. Anze Kopitar, we know what he can do. And this Iafallo has been their best star, and he's still only 3,500, guys. He's finally up on that top line too. Kind of, it's hard. These two lines are starting to separate themselves from the pack. Is Corey Crawford coming off that shutout going to be a good play? No. So I like kind of this Carter Kovalchuk line 2. You know what? Let's just make sure here. Let's go to this. This is 5-on-5 action, right? Because if we're going 5-on-5 action, we want to know who is giving up. And these stats here that are about to pop up on your screen, if they haven't already, this is 5-on-5. And you want to look at goals against kind of and say who for Chicago is taking the most goals against here. You see this top line of Chicago's given up 3 goals in the past 10 games on 5-on-5. You see 14 Schmaltz Johnson. I think they're line 2. They've given up 3. So, those are what you look at. Kane, Schmaltz, and Anisimov, they've been on the ice for 3 goals as well. They aren't a pairing. That must have just been happened to. And you kind of look and say, is there one person that makes it worse? 5-on-5 hockey, you see here for Los Angeles, Kovalchuk, Toffoli, Carter have scored 2 on the 5-on-5 and gotten 4 goals against. I got this sorted by goals for, and then I got it sorted by this here US ATF, which is like unblocked shots for. Unblocked shot attempts for, I think it means. So you're looking here. Look at this here in 10 games. Brown, Kopitar, Iafallo have 70 shots that have made it through unblocked. So they're shooters there. If you want to take a shot on that second one, they're 45, a little bit less shots, but they still have more shots. So their shooting percentage is a little bit, their shooting percentage is better. It's still a mere 6.9, terrible, but it's not 2.08, right? And you see here, 5-on-5 here in the past 10 games, it's Saad and Anisimov Kane. So let's take a look and see if they're actually, let's see, Saad. Yep. Alan Lee Kane is not on that third line anymore. So Saad and Anisimov here have some 5-on-5 production. So you might say that's where I want to go. But for me, I think you still go with Taves and Kane. Now, you know what? I don't want to spend that much on this slate tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I might just take a one-off here and just run that Taves at 5,600. And I'm, because I'm pretty set on another game here of where the points are going to come from. And I'll go over that where, I'll give a summary of where my best plays are at the end where I'm going to really lean on. But yeah, I mean, I like this Taves as a one-off personally. Kane, certainly his numbers every time Chicago scores, he seems to be in play. DeBrincat and Cahoon, they're starting to get some meshing going. 3,200 for Cahoon. It's worth a risk here. Comp, he scored the other night at 3,200. I'm going to do the wait and see approach on him. And as we've seen, Saad and Anisimov have some production in the past 10 games, at least on 5-on-5. If they're on the power play, Saad and Anisimov, even if it's a second line. Okay, so yeah, Saad gets no power play time, but Anisimov's on the second power play. But yeah, this is a weird game. When you look at it, you say you don't want to play anyone. And that's why I say, like, I've seen when like Montreal and Detroit were doing terrible, they come out and they post numbers. So Taves, Kane, DeBrincat, Schmaltz, maybe. Those are your guys. The Kings, I like Kovalchuk and Carter still at 52 and 5,500. Toffoli, if you want to do the 3-stack, I personally wouldn't. I just stick to those two and leave it at that. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mitch. Like I said, these are like low-cost tournaments I'm talking about here. Muzzin had a goal the other night, so 3,500. Dowdy at 5,400. He's a good one because he is playing Chicago. So Dowdy's in play for me here. Dowdy's in play. Even if you just went off and did Dowdy, I have no problem with that. It's all price game where you want to go. Obviously, we all say we want the first line, top lines everywhere. Sure, why not, right? Cash gameplay. I think that Crawford's in play cash game wise. He's not going to face a lot of shots. So GPP, I think you stay away from goalies here. I don't have any interest in Budaj. So that's where I'm at on that one. Battle of the crapshoots, and it'll probably be a 5-4 game with points. So Mitch will be crying and maybe watch this video a couple more times in the future just to remind us that sometimes we should listen even when we think it's stupid, right? Next game here, we got the Washington Capitals going over into Colorado. Colorado is a 125 home favorite with an over-under of 6. You look at Washington on the road here. They're 3-4-1 on the road, 3.1 goals for. That's a nice. That's okay. That's average here over the league. 4.1 goals against. That's where it hurts. Hurts Washington. They only draw 2.6 penalties on the road, which is when you look at that, that's worse than the league. So they're not drawing penalties on the road. And they take 4 penalties on the road, and they don't really do a good job killing them. So let's look and see how that favors Colorado. Colorado, oh my, they're 4-2-1 at home, scoring 3.4, great number there, and then they giving up 2.4. Oh, their power play, ding, 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 right there, guys. A bad penalty kill with a great power play. The power play needs a look, and 3 penalties for. Personally, I think you give Washington's power play a look every game. And the reason being, I think they were first in the league in power play for a long time. They're now down to 4th, but they're still a good power play. When you look at even strength, I've even highlighted a couple of these lines here who've been productive for at least Colorado's sake. Nieto, Soderberg, Calvert from a 5-on-5 perspective. I like this 31 shots in 10 games here for Soderberg. Had a goal the other night, and I looked at his name. I thought about playing him. I didn't. He had a goal that night, and I swear that happens to me every time. Vrana is playing really well for Washington, so I like Vrana as well. You look here, Kuznetsov, Ovechkin on that first line, giving up 6 goals against. Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen, 7 goals against, but they've also scored 10. Look at the shots they've taken in 10 games. These are the shot attempts, this column H here. 131 shots in 10 games. That means they're taking 13 shots on that line alone per game. That's nuts. That's great. Yeah, from a DFS perspective, we're loving that. So, and these 2 guys are the hottest. I think it's McKinnon and Rantanen have like the highest points in the league still. But let's go over here. A good stats that I know when I look here, I wrote it down. Washington is 2-3 in their past 5. Same with Colorado. Colorado's coming off a 2-game win streak, and Washington just lost the other day. The reason I like Colorado in this game, and we're going to talk about it here, is I don't like Copley in going into Colorado. I think that Colorado's better at home. And Colorado, they've showed stints of being the hottest team in hockey. Now, they've struggled, mid-season into the later until recent. They've kind of cooled off from what we were seeing, except for that top line. But hopefully we've seen some lines get it together. And like I said, Yost scored the other night. Kerfoot's coming. And you see these. Look at these. Why are they starting to get a little hotter? The production's starting to come a little bit deeper. All these guys, you know, Yost with 2 goals in the past 5 games. Kerfoot with 3 goals in the past 5 games. Dries with a goal. Soderberg with a goal. Calvert with 2 goals. This is great, guys. This is great production. And then what you do is you say, these guys aren't going to be – Soderberg is on the power play. Calvert's on the power play. They've produced in the power play. Now, if you think that Washington's not going to score on the power play or Washington's penalty kill is going to succeed tomorrow, these guys become – you look at kind of where do they stack up against, you know, Washington's kind of third line, who they might probably pair against. But overall, guys, I'm playing Mikko Rantanen and I'm playing McKinnon. I'm playing them both. This is the pair that I like playing all the time. Landeskog, I will only do in case if I get to the point where I filled my whole line out and I need that extra couple hundred, I'll drop Rantanen and play Landeskog. I don't like when that happens. I probably even look to see if I can get a cheaper goalie on the slate first, but Rantanen and McKinnon are my first go-tos here. Kerfoot, you see this. This is power play action, guys. 3 power play points in the past 5. Where's he at? The second power play unit. Wow, guys. This is nuts. I think the second power play is in play, boys and girls. If there are any girls out there. I know there's boys out there because they message in the chat. So Kerfoot and Yost, they're in play, guys. Now, I might only GPP this because, you know, in a cash game, I don't know if you want to take that risk. But GPP, why not? This is great production. They're on a streak. I'm sure Washington or Colorado's playing them. Go with it, boys. Go with it. And like I said, Rantanen and Landeskog and McKinnon are still producing. Defensively here, Sam Girard, 5, he's in play. Look at that power play again. 4 points in the past 5 games of power play. Sam Girard at 4,100, lock him in. 3,600, Eric Johnson, 1 goal, 8 shots, 7 blocks. Lock him in if you need be. But he's in play as well. 1 goal, 1 assist, 7 blocks, 16. Ian Cole, he's in play. Tyson Berry, he's in play. Which way do you want to go, guys? Zadorov, he's in play. This Colorado team's hot. And let me look here, even when they did lose. Yeah, I still like Colorado in this one. And if they're running, would they say they're running Grubauer? Grubauer's looking for, this here was when they lost to Vancouver. This game here where you see Grubauer stats, 0-0-1, 6.46. That was when they played Vancouver on November 2nd. So he's probably looking for a little breakout game. Washington, guys, let's break them down. If you want Ovechkin, he's always in play, guys. He shoots all the time. But look at these numbers. This is why you almost like Ovechkin at 7,100. This is how you know it's kind of been a rough time. Now, Wilson coming back might impact his play, might be a little better. See what I mean about time on ice? You guys know Wilson was injured, or not injured. You know he was suspended. His time on ice shows 9.9. I wish they would just say time on ice per game equals only the games they've played. But they don't. And it's free, so can't complain that much, right, guys? I've liked the Oshie, Vrana, Backstrom pairing more as of late, guys. Like I said, power play, they don't draw a lot of penalties. I'm not looking at this power play, guys. Don't even bother. It's a bonus. If they happen to play on the same line and the same power play, you can look at that and try to get a bonus and hope that maybe they score. But me, I'm going pairs. Even if it's Vrana running a little bit of a streak here at 4,200, I'm okay with that. It's a weird game script for this. I personally think Colorado wins. And I think it's, they've gotten 10 goals in their past 2 games on their win streak here. That's an average of 5. So I look for them to actually beat Copley pretty well. Probably probably another 4-1 game. So I'm going to fade the Capitals most likely in my lineups and run Colorado. And like I said, Colorado might even be my most expensive line pair that I run tomorrow. Next game is we're continuing on. Hopefully I'm not gabbing too much for us here. Let me just trying to see where I'm trailing. 40 minutes I'm trailing at, so we're all right. Toronto Maple Leafs going into Anaheim. Toronto 120 favorite with a 5.5 over and under. Everyone knows this. I don't know how Toronto's at 120. First off, you look at Toronto, they are 4-1 in their past 5, scoring 5 goals, 3 goals, 6 goals, and 5 goals in those wins. They're hot, and we're going to go through them. Yeah, on the road, Toronto, they're, look at this, 7-1 on the road, guys, 4.8 goals for. Why would anyone even? Home team wise, Anaheim, they're 5-3 at home. I don't know, guys. They still only score 2.3 goals. They're not in play. Don't even play them. So let's just kind of get to this Toronto team. Now, the only reason I kind of get a little skeptical is John Gibson. John Gibson is the core reason of Anaheim winning or losing a game. Yeah, it's easy to say goalies are that, but he really is. Like, the best player on Anaheim's team is the goalie. Look at this. John Tavares, 7,300. Yeah, you saw Ovechkin was 7,100. Tavares at 7,300 and a lot more production. Tavares and Marner still locks. They're still lock-ins. If you want to play Marleau, Kadri, they're a lock on that line. Let's take a look first here. Anaheim at home. They have the 10th best penalty kill. Let's see they're on the road for Toronto. Yeah, the best power play in the league on the road. So, yeah, power plays in play. I still don't think you leave those pairings, though. You know, the beauty of this, the first power play unit is Marleau Kadri. The first power play is Marner Tavares and Riley. Riley's definitely a lock at 6,400. When I play Toronto, Riley's going in. I'm probably going to just suck it up and take Tavares and Marner personally. I mean, this shot's 41 shots in 5 games between them. That's production. I'm taking it. It's not going to be my only lineup tomorrow because, you know, you always have to rule that maybe Anaheim gives up 2 goals against them and you don't get that production. But I'm running it. I'm running that. Tavares, Marner, and O'Reilly. Or not O'Reilly. It's Riley. I'm running those 3. Goalie, he's in play. Anderson is in play. And those stats are incredible. Yeah, lock them in. I'm going to do this just to – I'm going to do it. I shouldn't, but I'll at least open up Anaheim's left – or the daily face-off here of Anaheim. Yeah, I could see Getzlaf maybe scoring a goal here. That's true. At 5,900. Raquel, I don't see him scoring a goal. I mean, look at these guys. Look at this. This is exactly why when you can count without a calculator how many goals they have in 5 games. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goals. Is that even right? Or they got some guys hurt? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's right, guys. They have 6 goals in 5 games. It's Sparks tomorrow. All right, Mitch, I'm going to take your word for it because, I mean, you are a legend on the DFS Quarry channel. So, Sparks it is, guys. You know what? He's their only loss in the last 5 games, but Who did they play in that loss? It was Boston. It's Boston, guys, and it was Boston at home. So don't roll out Sparks. Take them. And that's all I got to say about that. I don't get Vegas sometimes of why this is a 120 and that's a 215 for Winnipeg on the favorites. If I was big into betting this, I'd bet that line right now. And you look for it tomorrow to be a Toronto 180, 190 favorite, I'd say. But let's zoom right into this last game. St. Louis Blues heading into the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas, a 155 home favorite with a 5.5 over-under. As we know, I can at least recap because I was on the wrong end of the stick. The St. Louis Blues coming off a 1-0 shutout loss against the ice-cold Chicago Blackhawks. And Vegas Golden Knights coming off a big 5-0 shutout by Fleury to start their homestand. They are at home again. So it's been hard to predict. I'm not going to lie, it's been hard to predict on Vegas this year. It's been hard to kind of predict both these teams. But I'm going to ride this Vegas train. And I know Vegas the other night. It's Alex Tuch, guys. It's Cody Eakin. These two guys, ride the train. Ride the train. 4,800 for Cody Eakin. Guys, he was 3,800 the other day. Now he's 4,800. Why? Because he's producing. Look at this. 8 shots, 4 goals, 50% shooting percentage in the last 5 games. Take it. Alex Tuch, 6 points, 10 shots, 6 blocks. In the past 5 games, their power plays, they're in play. Our boy Ryan Reeves, I know Joe minus 31. 31 was big on him, man. Hot streak. Ride him. He's now not scored in 5. So, Joe, if you're out there, hope you're driving safe, and hopefully maybe Ryan Reeves will score a goal for you tomorrow night. Let's go down. Let's check this power. I always like to check power plays and stuff just to make sure I want to play them because, especially in FanDuel, when you get that power play bonus, you got to look for it. You look here at home, Vegas, look at this. Goals against, the best in the league at home, 1.9. That really makes you think I should fade St. Louis. They're 5th in penalty kill, and they draw 4.3 penalties a game, and they're not hot on the power play, but let's go take a look at St. Louis's penalty kill. Maybe there's a favorite there. Yeah, 21st, so yeah, and St. Louis is 1-2-2 on the road here. I really find it hard to separate Eakin and Alex Tuch. So I'm still running this Eakin-Alex Tuch line. Yeah, Alex Tuch's getting you this power play time. You wish that Eakin was there, but you're all right without it. Marce's show, he's in play still at 6,300. That's fair. Everyone knows he was more expensive last year. Colin Miller, defensively, 4 assists in the past 5, 11 shots, 9 blocks. We're okay there at 4,300. Braden McNabb at 2,600. The guy's a blocking machine. That's 22. So was that 22 divided by 2 is 11. So half a point there. So it's like, yeah, it's about 2 points a game he's getting there. Braden McNabb. Shea Theodore still in play at 4,600, guys. St. Louis, the only 2 I really play. St. Louis, I play O'Reilly and Tarasenko when I'm sure it's a win. If I'm not sure they're going to produce, I stay away from these guys. And I'm more apt to take the Bozak Steen route. I'm probably fading St. Louis completely. I think they're going to score tomorrow, but I don't think it's more than 2 points. I could see taking Pietrangelo as a one-off here at 5,600. I'm okay there. I don't want any part of anyone else here. And Jake Allen hasn't been too pathetic. I know that's a terrible way to kind of say it, but I'm saying it as if I was Joe Miner 31-31 here. He hasn't been too pathetic lately in his past few games. So I think Jake Allen is I think he's going to lose to Vegas tomorrow, but I could see it being like a 3-1, 3-2 game. And you know, Vegas guys, I think if we open this here, stats from the other night, where's the Vegas? 34 shots per game, 4th in the league. This is current as of like, I think 2 days ago. So he could be in play. And let's see how many shots St. Louis gives up. Let's see. Where are they at here? They only give up, yeah, they give up 31.8, which is actually probably middle of the pack if I were to sort it by that. Let's sort it by that. Let's just do it for fun here. So, yeah, 16th in the league, middle of the pack on shots against here. So that's where I'm at there. Is this here. Tuck Eakin mainly. I wouldn't have a problem taking a chance on Carlson Marchessault as well. St. Louis, I'm not high on. And certainly Fleury, who has been better, 2.5, 2.2, he's got that shutout from the other night. He's in play. 8,400. I don't know if I'm going to pay that in a cash game. It all depends where you guys think the scoring is going to come from here. And that's the way you look at it. If you think scoring is going to come from the top line guys on a lot of the games, you're not going to be able to afford Fleury. If you think you're going to have some depth scoring, every game has depth scoring. It's just hard to predict, right? Or every night there's depth scoring. You know, is it going to be, is it going to be this Bellemare or Carrier, or is it going to be Heika tomorrow? You know, that's the hardest part about DFS. And yeah, that's where I'm at, guys, on this slate. That'll conclude the 6-game slate here. As Joe said the last night, I better play the game because I'd be mad if he'd be mad if I didn't play the game. So let's break down a diamond stack, shall we? Diamond stack here. Give me on my diamond stack. Let me open them up here because I said I'm reminiscing about what has happened over the course of my time, and I really kind of like this second line for Colorado. For those just joining us, if there is a new person out there, Diamond Stack, we try to pick someone that's not the top line, and 12 points or more in the DraftKings setup. We're going to try to get to FanDuel since that partnership came out, try to really get involved in that scoring system and change it. That might take till next year, to be honest, guys. Learning that whole format and stuff to really prep and become well-versed in it. So, yeah, this second line against Washington, Kerfoot, Yost, Wilson. Let me mark that down quickly in my book. That way I can prove if I'm right or wrong. Let me just type. So we got Diamond, Colorado, line 2. And Mitch, thanks for coming on board, buddy. We'll both be winning money, taking the wives out for a steak dinner on the weekend. Or just putting the money back into DraftKings, one of the two. Snowflake stack, guys. We always say it. Anaheim line 1. It seems Anaheim line 1 is always it. But you know what? Just to kind of mix it up, I'm going with this St. Louis Blues team. Every time they lose a game, the talk comes back about, the talk was before about firing or getting rid of Jake Allen when they were getting crushed. And every time they lose kind of a close one like that, they all say, fire Mike Yeo. I think Fleury is starting to play well. They're at home. Vegas is. So give me this first line of Jaden Schwartz, Ryan O'Reilly, Tarasenko with a cold stack tomorrow. That's the snowflake. Mark it down. St. Louis, line 1. And going back to it, we got it. Do we have a Boulder Award prediction out there? Yeah, we do. And you know what? And I think it's going to be a back-to-back shutout. I'm going Chicago's starting goalie, and it's going to be Corey Crawford in that Chicago. Mitch, I'm marking yours down too. Mitch, Anaheim, line 1, snowflake. We got Mitch Sparks Boulder Award. I'm marking it down here. You're basic. I know me and Joe talked about getting you in on one of these here, making the hangout 3 people and bringing you on board. Maybe one of these days. But yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. I'll do a quick breakdown of slate. I'm about an hour in here, so I'm okay with that. Mitch. Let's turn off this screen share and get it back to my ugly. Bring it back into my ugly face here to end the notes here, guys. Hey, this is an exciting slate. There's a few games here that are a little more risky. I'd say a lot of people steer away from that Kings Blackhawks game. I think you'll see a little bit of ownership here in. You're going to see ownership in Kane for sure. He seems to always draw some ownership. Stars, like I said, I like that top line for Dallas. Bruins. Man, it's just, I'm going to look it up quick while I keep on talking and see if Chara was out long-term or not. What's the Google chart say here? He left with an injury 12 hours ago. Yeah, it says as of 2 hours ago, captain to be reevaluated back in Boston. So even though that lineup showed he's in, I think he's out. And I think him being out is a good indication to stay away from that. He might not get the numbers, but when he's on, he facilitates some offense. You know, it might not come in terms of points and goals and assists, but yeah, you said it right there. Mitch, with Dallas. Radulov, enough said. He's in. They're getting the win. Hopefully Bishop has a real nice game tomorrow. I haven't ruled him out either. I might really key in on Bishop. I think Boston's played Dallas this year too. I need to see. Holy moly. Craig Anderson stopped 2 penalty shots in the third to win. That's crazy. Let's keep going though. Winnipeg, their power play keeps the streak going and scores again. Buffalo is a risky play. Maybe you just keep on the streak and at least run. You can either get away with running Eichel as a one-off in a utility spot or running Skinner as a one-off in a utility as well, because I think the goals are going to at least be in part by those guys. Capitals Avalanche, like I said, I like that Avalanche top line. And for my diamond stack, I chose the second line, so I will probably have a line at least with 1 or 2 of those players as well. Capitals, it's that second line for me if I do play them. I'm not real keen on, like, looking at the early stats, I'm not too, their top lines just haven't been as productive as we saw early on. I mean, even when they are winning games, if I can go back quick, just for the sake of it, a win of 2-1, a loss of 2-1, a loss of 4-1, a win of 5-2, and a loss of 3-1. So only one game in the past 5, the Capitals have scored more than 2 goals. That's bad. They're struggling, and it's hard to really see DFS value. So I might play the Capital. I might just do the wait on stay pat on the Capitals for a little bit. Avalanche, good. Maple Leafs, like you said, Sparks is in play, guaranteed for the win. Ducks, the more I talked about them, the worse off they've appeared. So I really like that Sparks play too. He's not going to see a ton of shots probably, but I'm okay with that. And Golden Knights Blues, you're going to see a low-scoring game. It could be 1-0 again, Vegas winning. It could be 2-1 Vegas winning, but both teams really don't score a lot, so I don't see a lot of value. But that being said, I'm going to do the whole closing arguments kind of just schmo there. Guys, like the page, like the video. Let us know in the comments what we did right, what we did wrong. If you like our picks, if you hate our picks. Well, my picks, I should say. But as we do this for fun, I like to make Mitch laugh, or anyone else who's watching here and there. Throw in some stupid prediction that Joe thinks I take literally from time to time, and we have a good time. Me and Joe, there used to be a time before we had done these videos, I talked to my brother there once every couple months, and now we kind of talk daily with this and have a great time. And we like to win money, but it's a great bond. So like you said, also we are on Twitter at DFS Quarry. My Twitter personally is at JSMiner87. If you don't want to land-based me on the DFS Quarry, you can land-based me on my personal Twitter as well. And guys, good luck there tomorrow, and keep an eye out. Joe does drive on the truck during the day, and even game days, he's trying to post as much updates as we can. Injury updates, goalie starts that where 4 months ago we try to, when we hear about them, we like to post it on there as well. Like, hey, Sparks definitely confirmed, or I seen someone commented on yesterday's video about Crosby being out. It really wasn't mentioned till later in the day, and those are the type of updates we at least like to get on Twitter to kind of say it's a first look. Sometimes we don't have that info, and like we said, games are playing right now, so we wouldn't be privy to an injury that might happen now. So, Mitch, have a good night, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow for another main slate edition. Hopefully, it's me and Joe both, but if not, until then, have a good night, and for those in the Northeast, keep warm, stay safe. See you later.